I'm Sonic Afternoon Show host Lane Mitchell. Joining us in studio today, Luke and Melissa from the band Whitehorse. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hamilton, Ontario duo. Latest album, Leave No Bridge Unburned, came out in February. You're playing the Wind Spear. How's the tour going so far?
Really good.
Great.
Really good. We made our way through the States. We stopped in Austin for South by Southwest, and then started our Canadian tour about a week ago.
Okay, and you guys are on the road until August, something like that?
Well, we have
endless
dates. Yeah, this particular leg of this tour ends May 29th, and then we'll do summer festivals until the end of August, and then we'll go back to the U.S. and then Canada again. I mean,
when are you going to feed your dog is what I'm asking.
Oh, the dog died so long ago with our plants.
Yeah.
You guys actually have a couple of days off, I noticed, between your last date and playing the Wind Spear. How do you spend time off on the road?
Well, we have a little baby on the road with us.
Congratulations, by the
thank
way.
you.
Thank you.
So most of our time is taking care of him, and so we don't get much time to, go out and party anymore.
Although, being that it's a day off, we're touring with our son Jimmy, who's 8 months old. Yes, but we're also touring with my 18-year-old daughter, Melissa's stepdaughter Chloe, and she's looking after Jimmy. That's her job on the road, which is fantastic. Works great. But she's also a musician. She's a singer-songwriter herself. So on days off, her plan on this tour was to hit open mics. So tonight we're going to go out and we're going to play as her band.
Yeah, we're going to back her up.
I'm going to play drums and Chloe's going to play and sing, play guitar. And there's a local kid
Interpretive dance here.
Yeah. There's a local guitar player named Jasper Smith, an Edmonton kid who's really, really amazing. And he's going to play guitar with Chloe, and we're going to back them up, and they're just going to jam.
Yeah.
So that's how we're spending our day off today.
So you're working on your days off?
No, this
Exactly.
is play. This is play.
You know, I will confess, I knew that you had a baby because I told the world you were divorced. I'll tell you why. On your Wikipedia page, it said, we're both established and successful singer-songwriters, both before and after their marriage in 2006. After their marriage. I was like, oh, the marriage ended. I'm like, working with your ex, that has to be uncomfortable. And one of your friends called, go, no, I think they just had a baby. They're still together. Like, oh, little awkward. I do have to ask the obvious question. Why call your band Whitehorse?
Well, we wanted it to be a Canadian name. We wanted to think of something Canadian. People say that we play Americana music, and we think a lot of our favorite bands that are in that genre are Canadian. So we like to call it Canadian.
Yeah.
But, we were thinking of a geographical location, and we thought Whitehorse would be cool because it's kind of remote and beautiful and stark, and a lot of Canadians don't even get the chance to go there. We've played there a few times, and we love it. So we just thought it would be a good choice.
There's a lot of mystery around a place that nobody gets to go and see. And when it's in the north, it carries a certain allure. And that seemed like the direction we wanted to steer people when they were thinking about our music.
Yeah.
Well, the album Leave No Bridge Unburned, I kidnapped it from the music library earlier this week, and it kind of sounds like the soundtrack to a very cool HBO show that a lot of people aren't onto yet. It's like, it's True Detective. It's the soundtrack to that. Like surfy, sort of melancholic guitars. It is a triumph. It kind of makes me wonder, though, what are you guys listening to these days?
Wow, I guess it's a sign of the times, being that when we're in the van. Yesterday we listened to like old school, like early first generation hip hop, like
NWA.
NWA, like the nastiest hip hop you can imagine, and then a huge dose of the Smiths.
The Smiths.
And I'm kind of a junkie these days for Father John Misty. I'm really digging what he does.
Yeah.
And then
listening to that a lot.
lots of like the Beck record that won that Grammy this year is a spectacular record.
I gave birth to that record.
That's right.
Side note.
Our son came into the world with that record. But then a lot of classics, like we an embarrassing amount of the Beatles and mid-70s Rolling Stones in our lives. As far as the darkness that you talk about on the record and the surfy noir and all that sort of thing, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of great music that hinted at that sound that we've stolen from. Some of the Tom Waits records from the 1980s are dripping with that kind of sound. There's also a band called Calexico out of Arizona that I'm a huge fan of, and they're also purveyors of that thing. And then some people wouldn't necessarily think of this, but Los Lobos do a bang-up job of mixing the sort of Mexican mariachi thing with a really sort of progressive muscular American sound, which I'm also a fan of. So, sorry, I know it's a really all-over-the-map answer, but that's...
No, not at all. I was listening to Baby What's Wrong, the first track on the album. There is a tambourine that is so sad in there, I just about cried a tear. I was like, wow, how does a tambourine do? Like, it's just a single, lonely, like, I picture it as being a lonely tambourine hit.
Well, that tambourine was crying when we tracked it, so yes.
That helps. You guys are touring as a duo. I listened to the song Downtown. I'd count 10 instruments at least. How do you recreate that live?
Well, we pretty much play 10 instruments on that song on stage. We have a looping pedal which allows us to record live on stage. So anything can happen. Everything has gone wrong in the past. But that's what's fun for us. It kind of keeps us on our toes. And so we're able to record a passage of music and then layer on top of it. So we have a full drum kit. I'm playing fuzz bass on that. We have these telephone microphones, so we're singing the refrain in there.
Where did that come from?
That was actually something that I saw Luke do a while ago, and it's a guy in Winnipeg who just goes to a thrift store and finds these old telephones and then turns them into microphones, and it's actually quite simple. I think you just patch it up to a cable and it sounds like a telephone.
Yeah, strangely they sound just like telephones.
What is it like being rock star parents? I'm kind of curious. How do you stay being cool while you have kids?
Were we ever cool?
If my daughter Chloe was here at the moment, she'd be laughing, like, at our expense, of course. I don't know. We live an interesting life. I don't know how cool we are, but we get to do fun things, and we get to see lots of great stuff, and we get to eat lots of good food and hear good music and see great cities, and it's a pretty exciting life, and we've managed to bring our kids with us. And I think they enjoy that. I think they feel like this is a fun way to spend time. Chloe grew up in Vancouver, and she just graduated high school last year, and I took her on the road a little bit we took her on the road over the years here and there. But, she was in school and that was life. But now she's with us full time, and I think she's really getting a sense of the kind of freedom and it's a fun way to live your life. It's difficult for some people. In most situations, a husband and wife, one of them is a musician, the other one's not. So that's really difficult, because you're having to call your loved ones and say, hey, I'm on the road and we just had a great show in Calgary last night. You're at home and we're not together, and that sucks.
The hardest part about being on the road is it can be lonely, and usually you're leaving someone behind, and I feel like we've eliminated that problem. So, we get all the perks of being on the road, the adventure and the fun, and being on stage together, and we get to share in that together. So it's really nice.
And I think the kids dig it.
So it's just that one tambourine that's lonely.
Yeah, it's just one sad.
We should just get a second tambourine so he's not alone.
Yeah, it's like cats, you need at least two.
I wanna hear a story about